Welcome back to a lecture on phonetics. In this video, I'm going to show you the classification of consonants based on place of articulation and manner of articulation. Consonants, based on their productions, are characterized by the presence of obstacles or blockage in the air passage. Such blockage can be either complete or partial. In comparison, vowels are produced by the absence of obstacles in the air passage. However, we are not talking about vowels in this video because our focus is consonants. In terms of consonants, firstly, we talk about place of articulation. Place of articulation refers to classification of consonants based on the speech organs which are involved in their production. Therefore, when we distinguish each of the consonants based on the organs of speech which are involved in their production, we refer to place of articulation. There are 8 types of consonants based on place of articulation. The first one is bilabial consonants. Bilabial is taken from B, which means two, and labia, which means lips. So, bilabial means two lips or both lips, upper and lower lips. Bilabial consonants are produced by the involvement of the upper and lower lips. So, when we want to produce bilabial consonants, we have to make our lower lips touch the upper lips. There are 4 consonants that belong to bilabial consonants. They are b, p, m, w. You can see that my lips meet each other whenever I want to produce these sounds. If my lips do not meet each other, I cannot produce any bilabial consonants. B, b, m, w are consonants which are introduced in English and also in Bahasa Indonesia. The second type of consonants based on place of articulation is labiodental consonants. Labiodental consonants. Labiodental is taken from labio, which means lips, and dental, dent, which means teeth. So, labiodental consonants are produced by the involvement of upper teeth and lower lips. Because our lips belong to the active articulators, so we move our lower lips. We move our lower lips until they touch the upper teeth. And then we can produce labiodental consonants such as f, v. Once again, f, v. These sounds are introduced in English, and they are also introduced in Bahasa Indonesia. F, v, f, v. These are labiodental consonants. Remember, labio means lips and dent means teeth. Therefore, these consonants are produced by involving the upper teeth and lower lips. The next type of consonant is dental consonants. Dent means teeth. It means that dental consonants are produced by the involvement of our teeth, upper and lower teeth. In addition to teeth, to produce dental consonants, we also need the involvement of the tip of our tongue. So you can see here that the tip of our tongue is moved until it becomes or until it occupies the area between the upper teeth and lower teeth. So this is called dental consonant. The examples are th, the. Once again, th, the. These sounds are introduced in English, but they are not introduced in Bahasa Indonesia. Therefore, Indonesian native speakers have to show efforts in order that they are able to produce these two sounds, th, the. Well, let's come to the next type of consonant, alveolar consonants. Alveolar consonants are characterized by the involvement of the tip of our tongue and the alveolar ridge. Okay, because the name is alveolar consonants. Of course, you know, the organ of speech involved in this production is mainly the alveolar ridge. So you can see the illustration here that the tip of our tongue is moved until it touches the alveolar ridge. So these sounds are called alveolar consonants. There are many sounds that belong to alveolar consonants, such as t, d, s, z, l, n. These sounds are called alveolar consonants. The next type of consonant is post-alveolar consonants. Post-alveolar. The name of post here means that the the place which is touched by our tip of the tongue or the blade of our tongue is not exactly on the alveolar ridge, not exactly on the hard palate. So the tip or blade of our tongue touches the area between the alveolar ridge and hard palate, and therefore it is called post-alveolar consonants. There are three sounds that belong to alveolar consonants: ch, j, er. Okay, I can illustrate how these sounds are produced. You can see here that the tip or blade of our tongue are moved until it touches the area between the alveolar ridge and hard palate. Okay, the area between the alveolar ridge and hard palate. That's why it cannot be called alveolar consonants. It cannot be called palatal consonants because it touches the area between the two areas. Okay. These sounds, especially ch and j, are introduced in English, but they are not introduced in Bahasa Indonesia. Well, the next type of consonant is palatal consonant. We move slightly further or slightly deeper, okay, inside our mouth. And now we use the blade of our tongue, okay, the blade of our tongue to touch the hard palate. Therefore, palatal consonants are consonants which are produced by the involvement of blade of the tongue and hard palate. In other words, the body of our tongue or the blade of our tongue is moved until it touches the hard palate. There are three consonants in English which belong to palatal consonants. They are j, j, and y. J, such as in measure, such as in wash, and y, such as in young. These three sounds in English belong to palatal consonants. Now, let's go on. We have the other type of consonant based on place of articulation, that is velar consonants. Velar consonants. Velar is derived from velum. Velum is synonymous with soft palate. Okay, the area of the palate which is softer. That's why it is called soft palate. These sounds are produced by raising the blade of the tongue or the root of the tongue into or onto the vowel or soft palate. So we raise the body of our tongue or the root of our tongue onto the vellum or soft palate. The sounds result in velar consonants. There are three sounds which belong to velar consonants. They are k, g, k, g, These sounds are introduced in English and they are also introduced in Bahasa Indonesia. Okay, so velar consonants include k, g, um. These sounds are produced by raising the body or root of the tongue onto the soft palate or vellum. Now let's come to the final type or the last type of consonant based on place of articulation, that is glottal consonant. As its name suggests, glottal, glottal is taken from glottis. So this sound is produced by involving the glottis. So you can see here the illustration of producing ha consonants because ha belongs to glottal consonant. So you can see that the blockage is located around the glottis. The blockage is located around the glottis. And you can also see here that there is no more blockage in the mouth or in the uh, uh, oral cavity. So there's no blockage in our oral cavity. The blockage is only located around the glottis. This sound is called glottal consonants. There's only one sound that belongs to a glottal consonant, that is ha, ha. So when I produce ha, there's no blockage inside my mouth, okay, inside my oral cavity, but the blockage is located around the glottis. Well, so these are types of consonants based on place of articulation. There are 8 types of consonants that belong to or based on place of articulation. They are bilabial consonants, dental consonants, labiodental consonants, alveolar consonants, post-alveolar consonants, parallel consonants, velar consonants, and glottal consonants. Now, let's come to classification of consonants based on manner of articulation. When we are talking about place of articulation, we are talking about what? We are talking about organs of speech. But in manner of articulation, we are talking about the management of air passage. How we manage the air passage in producing consonants. Well, based on manner of articulation, consonants are divided into 6 types. The first one is stop or plosive. Stop or plosive. Stop means we completely block the air passage. Once again, we completely block the air passage. And then suddenly we release the air passage which has been blocked completely. So we can say that stop or plosive consonants are produced by completely blocking the air passage and then releasing it suddenly, such as p. Before I produce p, I have to block the air completely, the air that goes through my mouth. Okay, I have to block it. Okay, and then I release it suddenly, not gradually, not, but I have to release it suddenly. B, b, t, d, k, g. These sounds belong to stop or plosive consonants. Now, let's come to the next classification of consonants based on manner of articulation. We have here fricative. So, fricative is derived from friction. Friction is the result of letting the air passage go through narrow oral cavity. When we let the air go through our narrow oral cavity, this action or this movement will result in friction or hiss sounds or noise that okay, this is a friction because the consonants or the sounds contain friction. They are called fricative. So you can see here the illustration how fricative consonants are produced. You see here that we force the oral cavity to be narrow. And then we let here the air go through the narrow oral cavity. As a result, it causes friction. These sounds include th, the. You can see that my mouth is narrow, or the oral cavity is narrow. And then v, s, z, zh. Okay, so I force the air to go through narrow oral cavity. This sounds fricative consonants. Next, we come to affricate consonants. Affricate consonants are produced by combining the way we manage the air passage in stop consonants and fricative consonants. So, affricate is the combination of plosive and fricative consonants. These sounds are produced by completely blocking the air passage, but unlike stop, these sounds let the air go through narrow oral cavity. In stops, we release the blocked air suddenly, but in affricate, we release the blocked air through narrow oral cavity. So we have and such as in church, such as in judge. So we have and j. These sounds are affricate consonants. Now we go on to nasal consonants. Nasal is derived from nose. It means that the air goes to the hole in our nose, or known as nasal cavity. So we can say that nasal consonants are produced by letting the air passage go through nasal cavity. So you can see here, through the illustration, you can see that the air passage, okay, the air passage that wants to go through the oral cavity is blocked. Instead, we let the air go through nasal cavity, go through our nasal cavity. There are three sounds that belong to this type. They are m, n, and or These sounds are nasal consonants. These sounds are introduced in English. They are also introduced in Bahasa Indonesia. Well, let's go on with the next type of consonant based on manner of articulation. We have now lateral consonants. Lateral means each side. Okay, so lateral consonants are produced by locating our the body of our tongue. Okay, locating the body of our tongue exactly in the middle of our mouth. Okay, exactly in the middle of our mouth. Therefore, there are two places in which the air can can go out of our mouth. Okay, so there are two spaces through which the air passage can go. Therefore, we can say that lateral consonants are produced by letting the air passage go through each unblocked sides of oral cavity. So there are two sides which unblock. In the middle part of our mouth, okay, the air passage is blocked by using the body of our tongue. And there are two areas or two edges in our oral cavity which are unblocked, and the air goes through those unblocked sides. Okay, there are two sounds that belong to lateral consonants. They are L and R. L, R. These sounds are lateral consonants. The last type of consonant based on manner of articulation is semivowel. Semivowel is half vowel and half consonant. Semi, half. So we can say that semivowel is a half consonant and a half vowel. These sounds are produced by lightly blocking the air passage. It means that the blockage of the air passage is very light, very small. Okay, you can see here when we want to produce w, okay, so we block the air by using our lips, but our lips do not exactly meet each other. There is a few space in which the air can go freely. Okay, so you can see this is the illustration how we produce w. And this is the illustration how we produce yeah. And you can see yeah when we raise the body of our tongue onto the hard palate, and such movement still leaves a small space. And through that small space, the air can be let free. That's why I say that the blockage in producing semivowel is light. There are only two consonants in English that belong to the semivowel consonants. They are w, yeah, w, yeah. Well, we have talked about types of consonants based on place of articulation and manner of articulation. Now, when we summarize the types of consonants based on place and manner of articulation, we can draw such a diagram or such a table. Now, we put all the sounds in a table. So you can see here that bilabial consonants, okay, bilabial consonants are p, b, m, w. These are bilabial consonants. However, these bilabial consonants are different in terms of manner of articulation because p, b are stop consonants, but m is nasal and w is semivowel. So we can conclude that consonants may be similar based on place of articulation, but they may be different when they are divided or categorized based on manner of articulation. I hope that you can understand the classification of consonants based on place and manner of articulation, and you can also draw this table by yourself based on your understanding after watching this video. See you and thanks.